So as you noticed, we actually traveling through the continents. So we started with South Africa, we moved to Southeast Europe, right? And now we are going to go to another continent. We would go to Mexico. So I would like to invite on the stage Miguel Sainz Gangora, who is entrepreneur, and he's a CEO of a company called AMSU, and he will tell more about that. But what I wanted to tell, I enjoy watching Miguel working on the in the program what we already informed to you. That's executive Adizes executive program, and Miguel been really impressing everybody by presenting what his company been doing. I hope he's going to impress all of us. So please big hand for him.
Thank you, Virginius. So a few moments ago, Dr. Adizes said that small companies always live in crisis, right? No money, no time. So that was our case. Sorry. We didn't have money. We were running out of cash. We lost customers' trust. The internal conflict was draining the energy, and we were about to collapse. So today I want to share a story, what I call my master business degree, worth millions of dollars. But it's a story about resilience, transformation, and the most important, the deep learnings. I really am very thankful to be here with these all leaders around the world and learning from all of you. So last week, we turned 22 years in the company. This is a family-owned company, and we have generated more than $240 million in combined income. We have survived different crises around all this time, and I think our experience also reflects every challenge all the leaders face. Storms, crises, pains, and learnings also. But I want to share today how Adizes combined with other methodologies are helping us to come back. So AMSU, it's a family-owned business founded in 2003. We serve the mining industry, so good luck for the mining. And we also serve the aggregate and the cement industry. And in this industry, as in many others, reliability is very critical. We manufacture in Mexico mill liners, so we're part for the mills, and also we supply products from overseas on the crushing and grinding and screening process into the mining industry. What is our edge? Custom solutions, short deliveries, and that's our edge, and and long product life. That's one of core edge. So just a little bit to understand AMSU journey through the life cycle, to this life cycle. We started in 2003 as in courtship. We were growing, and then we got distracted in 2014 because the family loves food, and we opened a restaurant. And what intention? The restaurant is still open. It's one of the best, the 250 best in Mexico also. But what intention? It diluted leadership focus, and we stopped growing by that time. By 2016, we get in go-go again and overexpanded. We start manufacturing the mill liners in Mexico. We used to supply them from Canada, but we decided to go into the manufacturing part. So that also was a lot of investment and started, affecting the financial, because we didn't analyze the ROI of this investment, right? We just want to produce and sell to the market. And then we try to leap ahead to the next stage, which is the adolescence. By implementing corporate governance, we did the family rules, we did the family corporate governance, and then we start doing that in the business. But our decisions, the fast pace that we did, and all of the instructor process that we have, and during COVID, it didn't help us too much. So we have industry shutdowns, logistics problems, and that also affect our process. But this time was our first approach with Adizes. We have a consultant of the corporate governance that start introducing the Adizes methodology and the life cycles. Then, by 2021, we start accelerating again. So we came from the crisis, then we start accelerated. We used to sell also in Central America before and United States, but what we did is we sell products that we have never manufactured before. And by 2022, those products failed and created a major crisis in our company. When in 2002, there was a need for this leadership reset that I'm going to explain later. And early this year, we were thinking that we were moving now with a good strategy, with good structure to the next phases, trying to work towards. But as Dr. Adizes said in one of his books, there is no inevitable causality between time and age. A company may be 17, 15, or like us, 22 years, are maybe still in Google, right? And that realization came from Shoham. We were talking about preparing this session, and understanding this helped me to realign the strategy that we are working right now with the future that we want to see with Virginia. So, as another book that Dr. Adizes wrote, the Conversations with CEOs, he recalls a conversation with Ala Bond, you know, that he said that he paid $20 million for a business education. I believe we have paid more than $150 million. But the real question is not what it costs, right? Is if we are really passing that exam. And then the perfect storm. We came from this big investment on the manufacturing plant, and then we have problems with customers. The biggest customers that we have start paying the bills. They got in crisis and start, in Chapter 11, so they stop paying the bills. After that, we start looking that we have a lot of operational inefficiencies in the company. And during COVID, that deepened, and we start delaying and having problems with the customers, and the loss of the trust start declining of the customers. And what the most important realization, I think, is understanding that the mutual trust and respect inside the company was draining our complete energy. So by 2022, the family, as mentioned, is a family-owned business. My brother and my father and myself are the shareholders. My older brother, I approached to him and I say, we were recommended by the corporate governance to have two leaders in that moment. So I was in the external with customers, alliance, and the markets, and my brother was operating the company. So I approached my brother and I say, we are in crisis, which is one voice, one vision that only focus on the future. So that's where, I approached again with Roberto and said, Roberto, I think I want to propose my brother to take the leadership of the company. And he said, wait, let me show you some videos and talk about Adizes. And he showed some videos about how a company needs to be structured and how the conflicts between the functions are always fighting. Like sales is rooted in the present. Yep. Marketing is looking what it was next. Accounting is also working in the present, and finance is preparing for the future, right? So understanding this, my brother and my father get together, and they come back to me and say, we want you to take the leadership of the company. So understanding this and taking the leadership in July, we start working internally by understanding our constraints on the manufacturing plant, but also in our market, and the problems we are having with the customers, with the delays of the products that we were serving. So I apply also the economical theory called the production frontiers, because we have two business units in the same company, the manufacturing plant and the supply chain of the products that we bring from overseas. And we were putting a lot of money into the plant, and it only represented 35% of the income. And then the other 65% of the income were from the trading company or trading unit, and we were given any money to that. And so that's created more problems. So then, because we have been delaying to the customers, we apply we change our strategic in the sales to focus more on service and trying to eliminate risks. So talking about this strategy, we used a methodology called scaling up, which have a very focus on how to say strategy. But as what Nick was saying, we failed the 3 tests that he said on people, on execution, and we bring corporate turnaround big boats to control the finance process. And we use a methodology called exponential organizations for innovation and adaptation and building new processes. But on the test that we failed, execution, there was a missing link. And that's where Adizes come in. I joined the program just October last year. I realized that the problem in the execution was because we didn't understand correctly our managerial styles. We didn't have the correct the copy. We always give or try to solve problems without having the copy completely. And the mutual trust and respect was completely out of the company. And this was a major touchdown for us. And David also teach me this methodology, which is, or framework that is Kinevin, that it talks and teaches us about making sense about chaos and how to manage the complexity. So when you have problems, and our leaders, we have problems, when we analyze it, we can have simple problems, and simple problems is easy to solve it. Just follow the rules and ready. The second, the second position is when we have complicated problems, and that's where we need help from people like Adizes, mentors, coaches, or external help to understand and give a solution. A few presentations ago, they talk about McKinsey. You want a solution, call to them, and they will give you a report and tell you what to do. That kind of stuff. Cause and effects still is obvious. It still is there, but it's not obvious for the company. Then we have complex environments that you only understand these environments when it passed, on the hindsight. After the cause and effect is only visible after the problem passes, right? And then it's chaotic, and here is what you don't have time to act. You need to, you have to act rapidly and then try to learn what happened with that decision and still adapting. And the more difficult is disorder, when you really don't know where you are, and that creates more chaos, the paralyzation of the company, no decision making. AMSU was still, and this is a major also learning from me, is when I start the leadership, I build a team. And I was trying to do everything like a consensus, right? I was trying my problems like complicated, but really, really I needed to change to action. So we understanding this helped me to understand that the problem of execution was not only about what we have, but also understanding this chaos. It was a clarity that we need to act fast, but also act together. And that's where we start working and implementing by the end of last year. We start balancing the roles. We start creating the KPI to solve problems. We start working to embed the mutual trust and respect in our leadership team before going to the rest of the company. And we start prioritizing the PIPs, or the performance improvement points, in order to be solved by these councils. And the most important is realizing that our strategy was very wrong because we were not in the life cycle stage that we thought. So we identify in our syntax that we did in company 2 major manifestations: the loss of customer trust, and of course, what I was telling you, the decline of the market share. We mapped over 100 PIPs in culture, financial, operations, customer trust, and we came from the last year's profits. To move forward in the culture shift, we create town halls. We meet with the company all the Mondays. We look all the KPIs from each of the employees in the company. The team of leaders was built now with copy and the roles. We start using empowering meetings. Also, it's methodology from Adizes. And we also have a lot of gamification, as you can see, we like NFL. And also, we always embrace the Stockdale paradox, which is to confront the brutal facts, but always stay or maintain faith that you will overcome. On the financial operational review, we work on these PIPs and we identify what that should be negotiated first. We will start working on lean operations in the manufacturing plant mostly. We also created these CAPI teams, what I say, or we call them SWAT teams in our company. And you know, making sure that those negotiations and all the operational improvements have the CAPI necessary to be executed correctly. On customer, we have to go back to them and say, you know, we need your help, we need your support. So we establish these contracts, agreement contracts, so they pay us first and then we supply the product. We start working in improving logistics, not only from delivering faster, but also giving visibility to our customers where the products really are. We restructure all departments with our purpose, but also with this centricity on the customers, making solutions the priority, not only the sale of the products. But you know, understanding the cause and also understanding what we need to do, it is not only. What the most important is how do we prevent chaos from repeating. So we also learned this in the Adizes executive program, and this is our immune system loop. So we analyze all the causes, the symptoms, the manifestations in the different areas and subsystems, but also we use this. Every result give us learning. Every feedback give us advice, but the most important is the advice is not only information that you know we did this bad, but also it's a learning process to avoid creating more problems in the future. So with this in mind, you know, we know that we were in chaos. We know what to do right now, and we are aiming for a 10x growth, because we are working to stabilize the company, but also do the consolidation. We are then come back. We always were a company that had a lot of innovation. We were pioneers in Mexico to implement the scanner and technology in the industry, and we lost that too. With all the internal conflict, we couldn't work in innovation and towards the customer. So then we're going back to the strategic expansion, and then what I believe and I think is the best is a 10x realization, and I'm going to explain why. In order to go to the 10x, we need to understand where we are, right? So this is a pivotal moment in our life cycle. The methodologies that apply are not theoretical, but most important, the methodology of Adizes has been creating this success in the execution in our company. And the journey is still unfolding, but our commitment is still very, very high. Some of the key results since we start working with the Adizes methodology principally and with all the methodologies mentioned, we start reposition AMSU to be a key player again with the customers. We already resolved more than 30 PIPs. So that's, you know, from the financial operation and the ones that I explained. We created these councils that help us to do that. But also, as you can see, we have reduced financial debt 80%. So that's give us some room to work into the operations and go back to the internal part. And the plant is 35% more productive. And we have reduced cost, and we have opened also room to have more space for production in the market. And we also have been recovering the market share. We just secured a month ago a 3+2 year contract with a major mining group. So that's a sign that confidence from the market is returning to our company. We are expecting, or we are, based on the financial and information we analyze, we are looking into positive sales this year, but also come back from the net loss profit from last year. And that's why I think, and the company thinks, that we need to go 10x. Dan Sullivan is also another guru that I follow, and he said that to make your present better, you need to make your future bigger. Because if you aim to 10x, it's easier than to 2x. Because 2x is work harder and work more and bring more resources, right? But 10x means you need to transform. You need to eliminate what is not working and create a new process in order to do that. But there is a nuance here, and Dr. Adizes said, you don't only want growth, you want development. So when you think that we need to go 10x, it's because we want development in capabilities, development in people, in leadership, in the personal part, but also in the organizational. So, did we pass the exam? Yet, we will still cautious because there are external uncertainties that can stop and collapse everything. We have, I believe, we still are doing the exam. We are still working towards that. But I think, thanks for the learnings right now, and we are with Virginius recently working into the map, to the strategic, and that will help us to better look forward and understand better how to take this strategy into the next. So we also believe that transformation is not only an event, it's a continuous process, right? So for finish, I have some lessons that I have learned, and maybe will be helpful for some other leaders facing some challenges. First, you need to understand your life cycle. Misinterpreting it can lead you to bad decisions. Second, remember that culture is strategic. You need to embed the mutual trust and respect in order to keep going. Use multiple frameworks. It can be a powerful combination, but make sure to include Adizes there because he's the missing link that reinforces the strategy and the execution. Accept the brutal facts. This is mean, not only as an owner, an entrepreneur, but also with your team. You need to be honest with them and telling, this is how bad it is, but we have faith that we are going to overcome these challenges. And act decisively when in chaos. Waiting can be fatal. And let's view crisis as tuition for growth. Painful? Yes. Costly? Yes. But it's worth. So before I close, I want to take my wife over there. She come to me and travel here. Thank you so much for your love and your support. And also expand a special thank to the Adizes Executive Program, Virginius, Shoham, that has also been involved in the process. David, thank you. This is English. My English is not my first language, so as you can imagine. So thank you so much, and all my peers that are in different countries also, that with all the knowledge and the support that we have given, you can see the results in just a few months, what we have changed in the company, right? So, yeah, thanks so much, and I'm keep learning from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miguel.